The motivations. I am the father of a son. I have been able to share a lot of what I know with him, but there are certain things that would be better to have in a guide that he can refer to. It is this need that led me to write the book. My other motivation is that I wanted to create a manual for young men in general who are making the transition into manhood. My story. Any book of this type requires a little background on the writer so that there is a better understanding for some of the opinions that are in it. This understanding can also alert the reader to any potential bias that might leak into the work. The brief background on me is, I am the son of Caribbean immigrants and I grew up in New York City. I have been living on and off in Europe for 20+ years, and my travels have taken me to 30 countries. I have lived in, not just visited Sweden, Denmark, United States, Jamaica, Spain, and the United Kingdom. Professionally, most of my life has been in the worlds of finance and entrepreneurship. The family. My relationship with my father, now deceased, was strained at different times in my life, but the important thing for me was that he was there. I was able to see the qualities in him that I wanted to assimilate: ambition, honor, and masculinity, while careful to minimize the influence of other areas that I found undesirable, overly stubborn, and insensitivity. My loving mother, also deceased, played an equally important role in my life, but she was not a man, nor could she replace one. Not to mention, it would have been an unfair request to place on her, or any woman, to be a man, and a woman at the same time. Being a woman is enough work. At the time of writing, there are some forces that are attempting to convince us that men and women are more or less interchangeable, and that there are no real differences. I must, with all due respect, state that this is absolute nonsense. Equal, yes, but the same, no. More on this in the later chapters. Men's essentials. Only you can validate you. Before we get into the more concrete topics, we must begin with the most challenging part of manhood: dealing with yourself and working on your mind. The mind is where the real battle is for many things. In sports, people are quick to say the mental game is more difficult, or at the very least, just as important as the physical. From personal experience with sports and competition in general, I can confirm it to be true. Obviously, sports is not the only place that the mental game plays a role. It could, for example, be a job interview or going on a first date with the woman of your dreams. The most important part of the mental game is understanding that no one can validate you, and you do not need validation from any.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?